Welcome to Dance Styles Part 3. Social dancing is done in a social setting and includes all popular social dances, with or without partners. It provides communication through nonverbal and culturally acceptable movements and gestures. Mastering dance techniques were paramount to those who wanted to be accepted by elite society. A tip of a hat or a swirl of a parasol could indicate interest in another individual without ever saying a word. Traditional social dancing forms or event types include all of the following. Salsa was done to Latin music. Cuban, enhanced by jazz textures with Puerto Rican and New York sounds, similar to a mambo. A samba was a Brazilian dance, in 1917 adopted by the Brazilian Society and in 1930 as a ballroom dance. The steps were steady and a smooth bounce in 2/4 meter and introduced to the United States by Carmen Miranda. The sarabande from the 16th century was stately. Couples paraded 4 steps forward and then back 4 in a variety of patterns. A schottische, a dance similar to the polka, clapping hands after 3 hopping steps in 4/4 time. The sevillanas were a Spanish folk dance, groups of 7 coplas, a little dance divided into 3 parts consisting of 12 measures of music. The parts began with an entrada and ended with a pasada, performed by couples. The shag was a late 1930s jitterbug and Lindy hop. Up-tempo swing to foxtrot music involved flicking of the feet backwards with a pronounced hopping action. A shim was a lazy shuffling soft shoe. Dancers at the old Cotton Club in Harlem would do this. A square dance is an American folk dance, with an even number of couples forming a square. 2 lines or a circle comprised of figures announced by a collar. Step dancing was Irish, with grace and physical ability required. It followed the Irish and Irish missionaries to North America, Australia, New Zealand, Brittany, France, Singapore, and Africa. The 8 measures of music are called a step. A Susie Q. Hands were clasped in front of the body at knee level. The body was bent forward from the waist. And you move sideways with the arms swinging in opposition. Tap routines at the Cotton Club in the Harlem of the 1930s. Swing was a blend of African American dances and all the other dance music of the past 90 years. The sword dance was an English medieval dance. It was ritualistic and ceremonial. Men with swords and elaborate costumes paraded through the streets, bringing on the death or symbolizing the death of the old year, scarcity, the winter, the new year, the hope of plenty in the spring. Someone dies and is then brought back to life, symbolizing death and resurrection. The tango can be traced from the 17th century English country dance to the French Contredanse, to the Spanish Contradanza, to the Cuban Danza Habanera. There's 3 types. The Argentine tango, from Buenos Aires, in the closed ballroom position, and the music is interpreted spontaneously. The American tango, the structure is correlated to the musical phrasing. It's a closed position and various extravagant relationships with a lot of freedom of expression. And then international tango. It's highly disciplined, distinctively structured, and accepted worldwide. It's used in competition, traditionally in the closed position throughout, and expresses both the legato and the staccato of music. Tap is a style of dance which developed in the United States in the 19th century and originally appeared in black minstrel shows. By the 1920s, it was popular with both blacks and whites. Tarantella was an Italian folk dance with a single dancer spinning alone until a partner joins in. Several couples, similar to a country dance, and it pairs dance individually. Girls use tambourines. Truckin', an African-American form of shuffling along while shaking the index finger of the fight hand above the head. Turkey trot, to fast ragtime music from 1900 to 1910, 4 hopping steps sideways, first on one leg, then on the other, denounced by the Vatican at the time, with scissor-like flicks of the feet, fast trotting actions, and abrupt stops. The 2-step is a simple dance, more or less double-quick march with a skip in each step. And finally, the Viennese waltz, refined smaller steps, smooth compact turns, and graceful flowing women's skirts.